Good afternoon and welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, simply click on the link in the info box below this video. Make sure to mute the page you are currently watching before you click the link, and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And number 2, please do not try to rejoin the show using sock accounts if you are ejected. With that, I'm going to transition across to my photograph so I can share the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter. And I would encourage anybody who is currently in the live audience to do the same. Please share the show. Once more, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. So I've just finished sharing the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter. Once again, I would encourage anybody who is in the live audience at the moment to please share the show and indeed throw it a like if you've been enjoying the debates thus far. I'll go through my links and then I'll do a few shout outs to anybody who is currently in the live audience. So if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. Simply click on mute on the page you are currently watching before clicking on the link below this video to join the debate and express your views on the shape of the Earth. As it stands, there is no one in the Hangout, so you would be free in this early stage to express your views entirely unopposed. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. If you are ejected, please don't try and rejoin the show using sock accounts. You will be warmly welcomed back on the next show. So with that, I'm going to do a few shout outs to who are in the audience now that I've shared the show on Facebook, Skype, Twitter, G+, and all those other good places. Thanks a million to anybody in the audience who has done so as well. Peanuts Clark, good to have you here. Thanks for being here. Much obliged. Flatlander, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Scooby-Doo, good name. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Agent Detective, I subscribed to you yesterday. Comical videos about me and every other person in Flat Earth that has a name for themselves being agents. Wonderful stuff. Laughed my head off. Brilliant. So, yep, subscribe to Agent Detective for more japery. Dawn Treader UK says, yay! Good to have you here, Dawn Treader UK. Thanks for being here. Much obliged. Physics Warrior, greetings to you too, my friend. Thank you for being here. Everett Anderson, good to see you as well. Thank you for being here. I'm going to transition back to my photos, and you may see me once more to pretty much repeat exactly what I've said twice already if we haven't had any guests by then. If not, you will hear me again to introduce the first guest onto the debate. Once more, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. As always, it'd be great if one of you from the chat could just hop on the show, just click the link just to make sure it works. If you can literally just say one word or crackle your mic or do something that makes a sound so I know everything's working and I can actually hear people. You don't have to stay, but that'd be great if you would. Thank you very much in advance. Juan Carlos, good to have you here. As your sound is messed up, it sounds like a Dalek. Let's turn up the iPad and see if that's the case. Nope, sounds perfect. Oh, we have been joined by our first guest. Who have we got?
David.
Music Man, good to see you, my friend.
You too. How are you doing, Nathan?
Your sound is Daleking, so maybe it's your connection, but yeah. I don't know if you are intending to stay to debate, might be a good idea to just drop and rejoin because it's your end that's Daleking, not mine.
Yeah, we'll do. Okie dokie.
But thank you very much, Music Man. Really appreciate it. Very useful to know that the show actually does work. If your sound is choppy and you're on a PC or Mac, lower the resolution of the stream. So the stream is currently going out at 1080p, and if your computer doesn't have a fast enough internet connection but you've set it in such a way that it will try to give you a HD picture, you will get choppy sound, rubbish picture. But I've got all sorts of monitoring equipment at this end, including an iPad that's, playing the actual feed, and it sounds perfect, and there's 0 drop frames, the resolution is excellent, everything's hunky-dory. How you doing, Music Man?
Yeah, good, thanks. Is that better?
Weird, isn't it? I've got people in the chat saying it's choppy, you're choppy, and when I test it on the iPad, it's perfect. For me.
Yeah, I'll restart my browser then.
Weird.
It sounds choppy this end too.
Oh, it's getting better. I'm going to just say a few words and then press play on the iPad just so I can hear it playing back to me, just to be doubly certain. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's better now. You off work this morning, I take it?
I can't understand you. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, that. I think I'll restart my browser.
Been joined by Dawn Treader UK. Pleased to have you here, Dawn Treader. I think he might have been the same, just testing that it worked. Thank you very much, Dawn Treader UK, for testing it.
Am I coming through clear now, Nathan?
I can just about make out what you're saying, but you're roboting. Shout out to Mr. Smith, thanks for being here. David Quintana, thanks for being here. Shane Carles, thank you for being here. Much obliged.
Any better?
Getting there. If you hover your mouse over your page, I'm going to bring up the Hangout page so I can actually show people in the audience me doing this. At the top, there's a row of 6 icons. And the second one from the right is a little cog that says settings. If you click on settings, you can... Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. Not settings. The 3 little bars that say adjust bandwidth usage. If you click on them, it'll bring up a slider from high to low. The last one completely turns off your camera. The top one is trying to push out HD. So if you just slide that slider down to maybe the last one, because you're not using camera anyway.
Yeah, I've set it to audio only now.
Yeah, it's still a right mess. Not that it matters at this stage of the show because no one's here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taco Tuesday. Good to have you here. Not going to check it a third time. I am confident that my end of the stream is excellent. Thoroughly tested. That said, you can't account for the internet dropping out entirely, which is beyond my control and has happened a few times. Very frustrating. Oh no, what's happening? It's all going wrong. Why is everything going disastrously badly? And then you realise you've got no internet. Not done so already, please share the show on Skype, Facebook, Twitter, all those good places. Got up to something like 130 people yesterday. I think it was more than that, 133 people I think at peak that I noticed. Maybe it was even more when I wasn't looking, but 133 people watching one of these debates. My jaw was on the floor. You're good so far, Charles. Sorry, you're good so far, Nathan, says Shane Carles. Yeah, it was good. It was a very enjoyable debate yesterday, I'm not going to lie. Most of them are. I really enjoy doing these. They're dead easy. Thanks to a couple of contributors to the super chat, we do actually have this show. So I said to Fanny Lancer in the chat yesterday, if it wasn't for you contributing, I wouldn't be doing these shows, because as much as people may want to call me mercenary, I do want to have a return from my time doing these shows, and typically the... Oh, what's wrong, little chicken? Oh, have you taken your wellies off? You don't want them on anymore. I explained to Fanny Lancer that I was considering just stopping doing them because they were all being demonetised and 40 cents for 2 hours work, as much as people were like, oh, the truth shouldn't be monetized. It's like, well, unfortunately, you do have to do things with money like most people, and you do have to justify your time, especially when it requires quite a lot of effort. And yeah, it just wasn't working out that these were worth doing. And then Fanny Lancer stuck some money in the super chat, and I was like, ah, well, that makes it worth doing, so I'll carry on. So huge shout out to Fanny Lancer. And then a couple of other people followed suit, and it's like, yep, suddenly these shows are worth doing again. Contrary UK says, yeah, your donators don't like each other very much, do they? I don't know. I don't know either of them, so I don't know either of them personally. Hello, Music Man.
Hello.
Nope, still roboting.
Queer.
It is, very queer.
I'll try a different microphone.
I think you're coming through.
It's the first time I've ever encountered this problem.
Yeah, you've got the Martin Leakkeys going on.
I've not seen Matt in one of these debates as yet.
Say that once more. I didn't quite catch what you said. I'm really sorry. I will bear with you though while you've got mic issues or whatever it is.
One, two.
Yep, still a bit rubbish. While you're figuring that out, so I think I mentioned this at the start of the show. There's a guy in our chat called Agent Detective, and who was it? Myself, Stephen Chess, Zoe Scribner, Patricia Steer, Mark Sargent, and Dina Walker were chatting last night. And towards the end of the conversation, I'd shared a video of I think it was called the 12 Shills of Christmas. I'd shared that a couple of days ago, and we'd all had a good laugh at that because it was very, very funny. And then Mark said, "Oh, I've got something similar," and he shared Agent Detective's video. I can't remember which one we looked at first, but we watched a few of them over Skype. Hateful, horrible videos, really vicious, but just crap enough to be funny. So I was like, some of the people who were in the conversation were very disapproving, but I was like, I'm subscribing. This is great. Thanked him for the advert in his comments. Can't beat a good fart joke. Hello to Critical Thinking Always. Good to see you. Agent Detective says, "No mercy, Nathan." Haha. Yeah. Good to see you, Captain Bullshit. Sky is up. Critical Thinking Always. That's what's up. Sky, as always. I don't know what you mean, Carl Bryce. Where's the pioneer? I don't really know what that means. Hello to Flat World Takeover. Good to see you. Hello to JJ. Thank you for being here. I got my hopes up there, Dawn Treader. Says, at Carl Bryce, shall we debate? I was like, yeah. And then follow-up comment in chat. Damn you, keyboard warriors.
I'll try again.
Yeah, it's rubbish. I think it's a low internet connection. Martin had exactly the same thing, and I think you can't solve it if your internet bandwidth is just that low. That's just how it is. There's not a great deal you'll be able to do about it.
Strange, because I'm on the highest setting of version.
It could be worth maybe resetting your router. That might work. I'm just clutching at straws, though, if I'm honest.
No, yeah, sometimes that does solve things. I'll go and attempt to do that now.
I'm going to go on mute for a second. Somebody's trying to phone me. Shout out to Doctor Strange Scientist. Good to have you here. Mark Taylor, pleased to see you. Thank you for being here. Cigarface TV says, play some music. No. The reason I don't play some music is because I want it to be uncomfortably dead when there's nobody on here. And, you know, other than me plugging the show and telling people to join, I don't want to, you know, keep you entertained while there's no one on. On the contrary. So please share the show. Or more importantly, if you're in the link in the show already, click on the link in the info box below the video and join the debate yourself. As it stands, there's no one here, so were Music Man to have his mic all working, he could have expressed his views entirely unopposed. Globe Earth, Cell Earth, Flat Earth, whatever your views may be, this is the ideal opportunity to express them, as nobody's here to challenge you. That will, of course, change. Shout out to Moon Matrix, good to have you. And XANH, pleased to see you too. Nice to see you, Daylight, Ohio. Thank you for being here. Thanks for tuning in to this riveting debate. Sounds of my child climbing on me. Fun, fun, fun. These morning shows, well, morning for me at least. Say morning, they set up in the morning and then I start about midday. They tend to take a little bit longer to get going, which is fine.
Hello. Fifth time.
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, I'm pretty sure once your bandwidth's dropped, that's going to be it for your day until it improves, which who knows when that'll be. Annoying though.
I was looking forward to a debate as well with Lewis. I expect he'll be on shortly.
Are you in touch with Martin?
Martin Leakey, no.
Oh, that's a shame. I was going to say just ask him. I can't remember what he did to solve his problem. I'm pretty sure he just got a better internet connection.
Yeah, I'm already on the highest one Virgin offer.
Oh, right. Did you try restarting your PC?
I did.
Oh, bummer. That's it. I'm all out of suggestions now.
Yeah, I did the rod also.
But yeah, maybe try again in half an hour once the debate's actually rolling. It might improve.
Will do. Cheers, mate.
No worries. Hopefully see you soon.
Thanks.
My child's just learned how to put her shoes on herself. Happy days. One less thing for me to do. You've done really well. Good girl. That's it. You push that welly on. Well done. Oh. Hello, Madman. Good to have you here. Good suggestion, Madman. He says, call back using the Hangout app on your cell. And on most cell phones, you don't actually have to install anything. You just click on the link and the phone will do the rest and take you through the process of signing you in. And if you haven't even got it, downloading the app. So yeah, it might be worth trying that, Madman. They tend to use a lot less bandwidth if you use a cellular rather than the PC. Guess the movie slides are a bit rubbish today. Guess the movie. You guessed it. It's Terminator. Nah, it's Top Gun. Not sure if the Moon Matrix is stirring trouble or if this is accurate. It says, at Critical Thinking Always. Okay, Carly Sunshine posted on Facebook worries about a YouTuber named Critical Thinking Always. Thought it was you. Interesting. I was chatting with Carly Sunshine yesterday, actually. She was one of the people on the phone call I was just talking about maybe 5 minutes ago. When we were shared Agent Detectives video by Mark Sargent. Nathan, you have a sound problem. Really, they lie. Let's just play it back through the iPad. No, I don't. Really, they lie. Oh no, he's right, I do. Ah, okay, let's try restarting my desk. Let's try that. Check. 1, 2. This is a test. The Mandela effect is nonsense. Sounds okay. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe the feed's got a problem. It doesn't seem to be. I've got plenty of things checking what's going on my end, and it all seems to be okay. I've just restarted my desk. That could have been causing a slight problem. Not that it matters. No one's here. Who cares? That said, I care. I do want it better. Here we go. Maybe Music Man, if you can try again. It might have been my problem.
Is that better?
Yeah, it was. It was my desk. I've restarted my desk, and that solved the problem. So I'm really sorry. I blamed you. It's not. It's me. Sorry.
No worries.
Kudos to They Lie High, who was the one who spotted it in the end.
Well, that's good, because I was getting quite frustrated.
Yep. It's entirely my fault. I am an idiot.
I was about to phone Virgin.
Right. Well, now you're here. I'll stop shouting people out in the over the mic, and I'll stick to. Well, I'll do a couple more. Andre Z and Globe Thrusters. Thank you for being here. And also, good to have you. They lie Ohio. But yeah, I'll stop shouting people out now because now you're here. If you wanna spout your rhetoric, I'll pop myself on mic so you don't hear my kid playing with it.
I've some footage of a balloon launch I did from Chepstow last year. If you'd like to see it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll just make my way into the screen share. How do you screen share here, Nathan?
So, are you on a phone or a PC?
Yeah, PC.
PC. Scroll your mouse over the Hangout page, and on the left-hand side there'll be a whole row of icons. The second one down is a green arrow.
Okay.
Called Screen Share. Click on that, and then select the page that you want to actually share, or the window, sorry. So it'll give you a choice of either, if you've got a couple of screens, it'll say screen 1 and screen 2, and it'll also, if you've got a couple of pages open, it'll say, do you want to share this page? So just pick the thing you want. And then if it's a video, make it full screen for you, so it's full screen for the audience.
Thank you.
It's, from my end, it's on you, so as soon as you share, it'll be going out, so let's hope it's not pornography.
And I've got plenty of that.
I don't want to know. That's your business. Eleanor, come away from there, please. Please don't end my hangout. Come on.
Can you see this on my knee?
I can see your photo selection at the moment.
Yeah, I need to share the VLC page then.
You need to change the page you're sharing. You will have to stop sharing and then start again. Quite useful. This I like these little quiet moments because, like this, if you don't know how to screen share, it's a good opportunity to figure it out. You know, you're not under pressure.
Yeah.
With someone saying, "You show me your evidence."
Yeah, I find it is all very rushed, especially with the common offenders. Can you see this now?
Yes. Your feet and what looks like a tyre.
Yeah, it's some duct tape or gaffer tape.
Gaffer tape. Oh, okay.
Does the sound come through also?
Yeah, I think your mic's picking it up from your PC speakers. We've also been joined by Curved Water. Thank you for being here. Now that Curved's joined us, other than leveling him up and stuff, I am going to go on mute from now. Music. It's Music Man, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, you won't hear much from me now. You've got somebody to debate with. But feel free to present your video. It'll keep presenting till it's finished.
Okay. Is my mic coming through?
Yes. Would you like me to stop this from sharing?
You're in control now. You do whatever you like. As long as you don't swear, I don't care.
Cool. Yeah, so this was in Chepstow last September. We did it from Chepstow because the weather predictor said it was going to be clear. We left the house about 5:30 and it was clear. You could see all the stars. Then when we arrived in Chepstow, there was a big pea super on its way in. I was going to call the launch off, but I just decided to go ahead with it. Oh, I'll ask the balloon it in the pea super there. Let me just go to the initial launch. There you go. And I changed the lenses. I used 3 HD cameras, and we put real-time lenses on them rather than, barrel distortion lenses.
We're just seeing grey screen at the moment. What are we looking at?
Yeah, that's because that's when it was rising through the.
Oh, we're in the clouds. Okay, sorry.
I'll when we get into the fog, I'll fast forward through that when it's leaving the fog. It's quite a nice serene view when it just goes above the base.
It's only a few minutes. Just let it play, and hopefully, while it's playing, Curved will chime up. But just leave it to play. It's only a few minutes from here, isn't it? Looks great.
Yeah, no, there's 5 of these videos. They're all in like 11-minute segments because they're high data value. It's HD.
Yeah. As I say, if you're here for a time, they're playing out nicely. They look spectacular. Great. Just leave them playing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just very obviously disappointed that it was so cloudy and fog was rolling in. Bear in mind, you know where Chepstow is. It's right on the coast by the Second Severn crossing.
without even asking, I'm 99% certain that Curved is putting a cup of coffee on right now. That's why he's away from his mic.
Okay.
Oh, I'm right here.
Oh, there you go.
I got it.
How you doing,
And
Curved?
sorry I'm late, by the way. I already made coffee and all that, and just waiting for somebody to come on rather than being the first one. I thought I'd try that one.
Maybe, Music Man, you can tell us what you feel this footage is demonstrating, if anything.
Yeah, well, when it gets to its destination, as in 100,000 feet, it doesn't show any curvature. And I've definitely heard Louis. Is it Louis or Louis?
When I asked, he said he
Typically,
preferred Lewis.
Yeah, I've definitely heard Lewis in the past saying that you can put a ruler or a straight edge across a PC screen, and it shows curvature.
Uh-huh.
None of my footage does.
And you know what?
This is my own personal footage.
Sorry. You know what is very interesting about this? With the camera that you have, and apparently it's got the auto exposure on. It's just doing it itself. You can see the size of the sun appear to shrink and grow according to the auto exposure.
Yep.
How about that? That's interesting.
I did cover the lenses in an anti-fogging spray, so I'm not sure whether that would have altered the process of the lensing.
That sounds like a good idea.
I did sell quite a lot of this footage as well to Shutterstock in small segments.
At what part of the footage do we see the horizon?
Yeah, it's sometime in it, but not about probably an hour from here. You see it sooner, but you get a clear picture when it's higher up, obviously because of the atmosphere, the way it is at the moment, the fog and the cloud. I can quite happily go forward into higher bits. There's one part when a jet must have been literally within a few hundred feet of the balloon, because the roar it makes as it goes past the cameras. It's a thick cloud base there, isn't it?
Sure is. What's beneath the clouds there in this view?
This is the southeast coast of Wales, and what would be the coast of Bristol and Weston-super-Mare in England. I was quite disappointed because it would have been great footage of, well, if I stop it there. This is the estuary here of the River Severn. There, that's the estuary there. Yes, but if it was clear, we would have seen this awesome footage of the second Severn crossing. I wish I'd used a windsock as well, just to stop the rotation. Here's that jet. Did you notice the glory rainbow? Yeah.
What is that?
That's a new one on me too. What's a glory rainbow?
This is called the glory rainbow, which is a ring of spectrum of light, incorporating the full spectrum, or the full spectrum of visible light, which we can see. See it?
Okay.
This is quite a rare phenomenon. It's not picked up very often, so I was quite pleased to have to get that in the footage. It's definitely not a camera anomaly. It is a a glory rainbow. See it again?
Uh-huh.
I think that's EasyJet on the way to Barbados.
What's that demonic force that's depicted near the sun there?
The what? Sorry.
The apparition. You'll see it again when the sun comes around. There was some of it.
Which part we looking, left or right of the sun?
It's like down and to the left of the sun. It's just a line right now.
This year.
No, down lower, down and to the left. Yeah, like 45 down from the sun. About no, a little lower. You see the white line?
Oh, here.
Go to your left a little bit. Go down a little bit.
Oh, there.
Yeah, that, and it's small right now, but it gets really big.
No, I've not noticed that before.
It's like it's morphing. I'm wondering if it's like a Draco or something like that. Maybe one of them Archon. Oh, that's a great shot of it. Look at that. It's like a Sky Hydra or something. What is that?
Is that not just a lens flare?
I was going to say, isn't it just a lens flare?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But people like to make all kinds of things out of them.
It's
Nibiru.
Nibiru!
All kinds of things.
That's definitely a glory rainbow because it's in the same location each time. And if it was on the lens, then it would be on the same location permanently rather than moving with the footage. I'll go to a bit higher up anyway.
You ever get a clear enough line of the horizon to
Yeah,
confidently measure it up?
I'll go to that now. As you can see, the higher you go, the darker sky. If I pause at any point and you just put a line across, like it's straight.
You won't catch me putting a line across that.
Okay.
That's way too fuzzy. There's no sharp, clear delineation there. I wouldn't base anything upon what I'm seeing right now. Either way, I wouldn't say, look, that's clearly curved or it's clearly flat. I couldn't go with either one myself, but each their own.
How wide would you say that vantage is there from left to right on screen?
How wide?
The landmark. Yeah, how much ground do you think it's covering?
I don't know, a few 100 miles maybe.
Yeah, I think it's about 300. I'm not sure what the curve should be over 300, but even if it would be detectable by the eye. Yeah, I did want to debate the lack of changing the stars from day to day if if the Earth is orbiting the sun. Well, I wanted to debate Lewis on it.
Well, what kind of change do you want to see?
Well, I just stop sharing this. I was explaining yesterday that over the course of 3 hours, if you look up into the sky from Cardiff in the UK, where I'm from,
Mm-hmm.
the stars seem to move from right to left by, let's say, it's hard to explain. Let's say if I was viewing through a screen like this, 8 inches.
Oh,
Yeah,
a screen like what?
like I was just sharing then, like that from one of those cameras. Or let's just say from the equator,
Okay.
the Earth travels at 1,000 miles an hour. So 3 hours is 3,000 miles. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not. You wouldn't see 3,000 miles difference. Let's just say you're staring at the stars for 3 hours. I don't know how to explain it now.
Well, it is a tough one to explain, I think, if I understand what you're getting at, but I might not really get your point.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to figure out why in 24 hours' time the stars are in the same place, but yet over the course of an evening, we see the stars move throughout the sky.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
propose something to you.
okay,
Tape a little camera onto a ball or something like that you can spin.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead and record it.
okay,
Take note of what's in the area that you're spinning it in.
yeah,
And then and watch what happens as the ball spins. See what it records of its field of view.
yes,
I'm really lost as to what the I don't understand the confusion, I guess, is
yes.
the only way I can put it.
I understand this, but also I can also stand on a spot and spin and look at the stars, and they'll also be rotating above me. Yes, just by spinning on one spot. Okay.
Okay. So what does that tell you?
That tells me that the
You're,
lateral movement is not from rotation.
no, you just recreated rotation by moving yourself, but you did it much faster. And you
But
made it rotate not in
yes,
accordance with the Earth axis as well.
I can rotate on a spot and see the stars spinning above me. I can probably accelerate the 3 hour duration of stars' movement in the sky by spinning on the spot. And I would
Okay.
see the arc they make. But over the course of those 3 hours, I cannot reverse the position of those stars because the Earth has moved laterally in reference to those stars. The position under my feet has moved laterally in relation to the star, and that is
Okay.
because of the rotation. There is still lateral movement from left to right.
Yeah, and
So,
it's insignificant.
no, wait, well, it is significant because if you put a time lapse camera on and don't rotate it, that lateral movement is picked up in time lapse footage.
Why is that?
Because it's given in the heliocentric model that the Earth spins.
Okay, and also the stars are very far away. You're looking for an effect that's not in the model. The distance to the stars, you're not going to pick up this motion that you're looking for. It's simple math. It's geometry, trigonometry, spatial reasoning. There's no reason to see the motion that you're expecting to see.
I understand the given concept, and they say that stars change by less than a degree per night because of the elliptical orbit.
No,
It's not taking into account the 1.5 million miles moved laterally around the sun.
But Music Man,
Okay.
that difference in your 24-hour period that you're talking about
Yes.
You're talking about the difference between a solar day and a sidereal day, whether the Earth has made one rotation relative to the sun or relative to the stars. There's about a 4-minute difference.
Yeah, I know. Given it over the length of the year, that's what makes up, the leap year and stuff.
Well, sure, but just for this purpose, it is that 4-minute difference is what is causing the slight change in position of the stars from night to night that accumulates over the year, which anybody can go out and see actually occurs. Anybody can verify that. I used to do it myself all the time when I was trying to learn about all this stuff and see, are they telling me a bunch of crap or is this what happens? And I'll be damned. Yeah, everything matches up to what I've been told.
Yeah, I still can't balance it in my own way of thinking, on my own mind.
Well,
that
I truly go ahead.
That over the course of an evening, the stars seem to be moving in relation to the ground spot where we're standing.
Sure.
Yet the Earth's orbit makes no difference.
Right. Well, how if I just for a second, if the Earth is rotating, of course that's going to happen, right? That is to be expected.
Yes,
Exactly
I understand that.
Okay.
Like I said, I can stand on that spot and spin round in an instant and get the same results. Yet, let 3 or 4 hours pass, I can still stand on the same spot. I cannot put the stars back where they were 4 hours ago because we've moved laterally.
No, it's because we've moved rotationally. If you could grasp that, then a lot of this confusion would probably just be resolved.
Grasp that. There's 2 movements, lateral and, well, there are 3 movements in total. You've got the Earth rotating, then you've got the lateral movement, which you can pick up by, if you put a tangent line between the arc of the time-lapse footage of the stars, and then you've got the Earth orbiting the sun. And this is something which people are just, conveniently leaving out of the equation.
No. You're conveniently not considering it. The effects of it.
Tell me what I'm not considering.
The distance to the stars, for one. No, I mean, surely you've seen footage of somebody in a vehicle driving, and the near objects pass you very quickly. Distant objects barely appear to move.
No, right? The problem is the way I'm visualizing it is not simple at all. Because I'm taking everything into consideration. But the heliocentric model does not take everything into consideration.
Oh, okay. If you're bent on confusing yourself and not getting, if you're looking for ways to not get it, then that's probably what you're gonna do. You're gonna not get it.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for ways to not get it. I'm trying to make sense of why there is no lateral movement given from our elliptical orbit of the sun.
Are you doing so reasonably? See, if you're going to go against and try to debunk the heliocentric model and say I should be seeing this tremendous effect or this effect of the lateral movement from the orbit, then you need to have a reason for that expectation.
Okay.
And right now, if you're going against the heliocentric model, you don't have a reasonable expectation to see what it is that you want to see.
Say if you look at an image, I'll pull up an image now.
Okay. And real quickly, while you're going for that image, I haven't verified this myself, but I'm going to put it out there and anybody can discuss it and say, curved, you're full of it or whatever. But see, I have this idea, and that's all I'm calling it, an idea. It's a perception in my head that if the stars were very close, like hundreds, thousands of miles away, something like that, compared to the size of the Earth, that's not very far. And considering how far we can see the same stars from spread out around various distances around the Earth, if they were that close, you know how the flat earthers always cry about, we don't see, there's no parallax. Well, man, that's due to the distance. If the stars were close, I think there would be ass loads of parallax. Now, all the mathematicians out there and the 3D modelers and all that kind of stuff can prove me right or wrong. Like I said, it's a concept, it's a thought that I had. I feel fairly confident that I'm not correct, but I haven't done anything with it to, publish in a journal or anything like that and say, this is my work, this is my results, and I stand behind it. It's an idea that I have. It seems to me, it just makes sense to me that if they were close, that there would be all kinds of parallax as the dome spins around, or as just the sky itself spins around the earth and stuff like that. And if we're stationary relative to its overall position, but it just spun around us like they try to say, there should be a lot of parallax, and we don't see it. We don't see parallax in the stars from rotation or from the orbit. It's very small amounts that they measure using highly precise instruments.
Oh Christ!
That's assuming that they're physical objects, of course, curved.
Well, we're going to differ on that. I don't think what it is has anything to do with where it is, really. When you're trying to triangulate, various positions around.
Sorry. Can you see this image now?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Can you see my cursor?
Uh-huh.
Right. If you just take into account this location here, yeah, this star here.
Yes.
So where my cursor is now, let's just have that star in that location and forget the path, yeah. And if you go laterally, the same star over here, yes. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that's the same star, okay? Because it's on the same trace, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the star in that location and the star in this location, yeah. I'm talking about the lateral movement which goes across there.
I understand.
Yeah. So let's just say it was a flat plane and the Earth was moving from left to right. That movement would still be the same, yes?
This isn't a difference between flat and a sphere, really, other than the lack of the shape of the rotation that you see and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just giving an example for argument's sake. We've got the star there where the cursor is and the star there. Forget all the traces and the lines, yeah? That is lateral movement, yes?
And just like the example that I asked you about, if you've seen footage from the truck driver was driving yesterday, Carl, and he had his camera on, and you could see the telephone poles whipping by on the side of the road that were near him. And, everything, the closer things are to you, the closer they seem to move. The distant mountains in the background, they appear to be like just standing still. You don't understand this concept. You can't scale it. You can't conceive how this works.
It's nothing to do with scaling.
You're expecting to see something that's not expected to be seen.
Synapses, vision, or retinal scanning. It's nothing to do with that.
No, nothing to do with that. This is simple geometry, dude.
It's not even geometry. The star is here, okay? The star is there.
No, it's about how little effect your movement has on the appearance, the angle of view to distant objects.
No, well, if we witness this in 3 hours, lateral movement across the sky because of the Earth's rotation, and bear in mind, we're also accounting for lateral movement across the Earth's rotation.
Okay, music man.
In 3 hours, why, if the Earth has moved 67,000 miles per hour, why is it not from there to, miles off the screen? It's total BS.
Because the angle is negligible. The angle change to the stars that you're viewing is negligible. You're not going to perceive it. It's that simple. It really is. But you want to believe you have some piece of evidence against the heliocentric model, and you do not, because you don't understand it.
If we can perceive it over a slow spinning globe over 3 hours, then surely a globe moving at 67,000 miles per hour over 3 hours, that would be much more noticeable.
Okay,
how can you say it wouldn't be? Because it would be. That's fact.
Music man. I'm not telling you to not talk about this. I'm just telling you I am done speaking with you about it because this is going nowhere. You just keep reasserting your own fallacy here.
It's not a
And
fallacy.
you're not looking to take in any information and view it objectively.
Because you're just throwing out words which I don't think you even understand yourself.
That's a really silly allegation. Most people that know me know I know every word I just used. That's a pretty schoolyard tactic there.
Okay,
Speaking
before we get into
tactics, let's welcome Pre-Mind into the program.
How can you mention negligible angles when we're just looking at a simple image like that?
Nobody mentioned negative angles. Are you listening?
Negligible angles.
Okay.
Sorry
Yes,
to
yeah,
interrupt you guys. I just want to say a very quick hello to Free Minded, if I may. How are you doing?
What's up? What's up, guys?
Good to have you here.
Hey.
Thanks for being here. Good to see you.
Afternoon, mate. Or morning.
Yeah, well, it's nighttime over here. Good afternoon, night, morning.
It's not the 3. Good night.
Oh,
mate.
that's interesting in itself.
Yeah, what he's trying to explain is how come only the slowest movement is represented in that picture right there of the star trails,
Hey,
and not the
Free-Minded,
faster movements.
Don't
Yeah,
try to tell me what somebody's trying to tell me. Okay.
that's what he's trying to tell you.
Here's one thing right now you can be sure of. If
What's that?
you understand it, I do. I don't need to hear from you on it.
But can you explain that? How is the slowest
I already
movement
did. You don't understand how parallax
represented?
works and how distance
How
affects
is the
it.
slowest? How's the slowest movement represented, but the faster ones are not? That's what he's trying to ask you to
Because
explain.
the rotation has a huge impact on the change in viewing angle to the object.
Okay. Let's say, for instance,
Orbit does not.
Let's
It's
say, for
that
instance,
simple.
Let's say, for instance, we're not rotating. Would those stars there in that time lapse just be straight lines because of our movement laterally?
They're not
Yes.
really going to move. If we were not rotating and the sky was not spinning relative to us either, it would everything would just appear stationary. Are you really asking me that?
No,
I'm not trying to be rude,
you-
but I mean, this
you
is like,
word yourself.
why are we talking about this?
Well,
You believe what you want to believe, and there's not going to be any change in your mind.
So listen, so why do you, if you're not going to learn anything new from coming here yourself, why do you even bother to come here?
You have nothing new to give.
So why do you
You're just giving me false information and bad
why do you
logic.
bother coming here?
Trying to help somebody.
Give me evidence of one person you've helped.
I don't have to give you evidence of anything.
For an example, then.
I'm not here like your dog to just
Are you a social media analyst?
That's that globe head knowledge, logic right there. Globe head. He don't need to show evidence of anything.
Not just on demand because he wants it for something irrelevant to the conversation.
I mean, what he's talking
This
about
has nothing to do with the argument.
is very relevant.
It's
I don't
not
understand
relevant.
what you don't get about it.
It's as irrelevant as you are.
Right. That's a good one.
Dude, you're an absolute moron. I don't know why you come here to embarrass yourself the way you do.
I mean, you're the only one getting embarrassed right now.
Not
Obviously.
at all. Not at all.
I understand exactly what he's talking about.
Of course you do,
very
because
simple.
you're dumb.
It's very simple.
You understand.
Time lapse here, yeah. This represents a full rotation of the Earth in 24 hours. Yes.
No.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry. Yes, full rotation of the Earth. Yes, I'm so used to people wondering why the stars don't move 360 degrees in the circle.
Listen, that's because the Earth is moving also laterally from this point to this point.
No, it's because that picture is only taken over the course of the night.
Yes, and I'm talking
music.
When I say lateral movement, I'm talking about, let's say lateral 1 is just between these 2 points, not as in the Earth's elliptical orbit. Okay, let's just call that lateral 1.
This is due to rotation.
If I draw a line from here to here, that would be a line of latitude. Yes. Okay, nothing to do with the Earth's orbit around the sun. Yeah. Can you understand that?
If you
music, you're talking to somebody who thinks they can bounce. Music, you're talking to somebody who thinks they can bounce a radar off the sun, like he said in the last debate. So Just keep that in mind.
Okay, do you need a link to that, Free-Minded?
Yeah, let me see
You know,
that
you
link.
know that was done in like the 60s, right? MIT down in Texas.
Let me see that link.
You will.
Okay. I'm sure I will.
So from this point to
Wow,
this
what a
point, it's
child.
12 hours of movement, yes, rotation.
Rotation.
Okay. So that would signify also 12,000 miles of rotation if you're still at the equator, yes?
No. I don't. You're
Approximately.
talking. No, you're speaking in some strange ways right now.
So listen, if you're stood on the equator over 12 hours, you will have travelled by rotation approximately half the distance of the Earth's circumference at the equator, yes?
Okay, the motion of the Earth, distance over the Earth, over the surface of the Earth, 12,000 miles, assuming it's 12 hours long.
Well, half of a day is 12 hours.
Do you know that night is not always 12 hours?
Half of a day, I said. Not nighttime or daytime or sunlight or darkness. I said half of a day.
Okay, half of a day is not.
12
I
hours.
mean, as far as we're
See, the
talking
closer-
about dark sky time,
the closer I get to breaking this
take a
down, right?
time lapse, dude.
The closer I become to breaking this down, then you just diverge into bullshit tactics saying
You have to have darkness to take these photos.
I'm not talking about darkness. Like I said, the closer I get to breaking this down so people can understand it, you just
Well,
diverge.
you're doing a poor job, dude. I mean, understand
Like a
this
muppet
about
like
what
you,
you were just saying.
Fucking crap.
The time lapse duration can only be as long as the stars are visible. You're trying to act like it's absolutely 12 hours because 12 hours is
No,
half
listen.
of a day.
You can change the exposure on a camera to get
This is not about exposure.
and sunrise.
You're not going to take pictures like this during the daytime by changing exposure. Are you serious?
But listen, you're diverging from the point now. You tell me.
No, you're making false points.
Well, you tell me the point then. How long would it take, right, for this star here to go from this point to this point? Come on, there to there. 180 degrees on this image. How long? You're the one with all the answers.
How long would it take? Oh, you want the star to make a half a rotation.
How long would it take approximately for this star to go from here to here?
About 12 hours.
You're incorrigible.
What?
Incorrigible.
How long would it take?
So you're saying 12 hours now, yeah?
About 12 hours to go halfway around, yeah.
Well, you just said that was impossible.
Yeah, this dude is retarded, man.
Dude, it's not retarded, going halfway.
You had your medication this morning.
You are really retarded. Yeah. Smoke a cigarette or something.
What is the duration of this time lapse?
Are you reading from a textbook and you've just realized that this is a 24-hour time lapse? Or
that is not a 24-hour time lapse, you freaking moron.
But what is it then?
You tell me. What does it say? It doesn't indicate 24 hours of rotation.
Well, you just said, right, it's 12 hours from there to there. So if that's halfway around, 2 times 12.
Dude, the stars have not moved that far. In number of degrees of the circle, they've only moved like, 30 degrees maybe?
Make it your mind then.
You're out of your league here. You don't understand what you're looking at. You've made all kinds of assumptions about this that you simply do not understand.
You're saying it first of all, it's impossible for 12 hours. Then you said it was 12 hours.
No.
Okay, that's it.
No. That is
All right,
not what I said.
Watching this clown show go on for so long. Check this out. You're not looking at a 24-hour time lapse. You're just seeing the star trail going in about, what is it moving about? Like I think Herb said about 20 degrees, 30 degrees. It looks like
okay
30
then.
degrees.
To answer the question, then
You've got about 30 degrees of movement, if that, in this explanation. But you asked him specifically how much time would go by if you saw the star go from here to there. Now he answered properly 12 hours.
Yeah,
that's how much time.
But before that, he said it was impossible for 12 hours.
No, I did
you
not.
act like he was dumb for saying so. You're dumb. You're dumb for making fun of him. because he was right. Hi, Nathan.
Sorry.
It's 12 hours from there to there, yeah?
Sorry
If
about
it
that.
moved that far, yes.
If it moved that far, which it didn't.
So how far would you travel if you were stood on the equator in 12 hours?
So you asking the question improperly.
How far would you travel if you were stood on the equator for 12 hours?
You'd stay right on the equator, wouldn't you? Relative to what? How far would you travel relative to
Well, if
what?
you've been listening, you know that we're talking about the rotation of
No,
the Earth.
excuse me. You're gonna have to be more precise with your questions if you're
No,
gonna
I don't.
act
I'm
like
not doing
you're
an Oxford
doing
debate.
science,
I'm
because
doing
you're saying
what I
how
know.
far do you move if you're blah, 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 blah. You probably moved a few hundred what in an hour, a couple, almost 100,000 miles in other directions. But the thing is you're not feeling inertia from those because you're moving in the same direction on those.
No, how would you moving in the same direction? Where if you're rotating, you're constantly
You have no idea
accelerating.
what I'm talking
What
about
is he
here.
talking about?
See, again, there's another knucklehead. No
Yeah,
idea what
you
I'm talking about.
No,
Yeah,
what
because
do you
we're
want?
not only are we not only are we spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, but we're also moving with the sun, who's also moving, right? Which is also moving. So, but the fact of the matter is, you're not feeling all of those movements because they're not inertia. You're not able to feel them as inertia.
The fact of the matter is, right, if
You're
you're
wanting
so
to feel
confident
them,
in your
though,
beliefs,
right? When I
why are
feel
you
those,
spending an hour debating
says the fly in the car.
Is it to inflate your ego or something, or you nothing else better to do?
Oh yeah, actually it is. I come on here and I like to argue with little liars and stuff like that, like flat earth bullshitters and stuff like
You
that,
need to
just
get
for
a more
the fun of
interesting
it,
life, don't you?
because it really boosts my ego. I mean, it makes me feel better.
Come on here and sound stupid. That's what you do,
Yeah, you do.
actually.
Yeah, you do.
That's funny coming
Really,
from
because you just sat
free-minded.
there and tried to tell him he was stupid for telling you that if the star was to move at, what is that, 180 degrees from its position there, then it wouldn't have taken 12 hours, and you laughed and ha 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 ha.
But you guys
actually,
are avoiding the
joke's on
original.
you.
The original
Well,
question
listen,
was,
Dimwit.
listen,
I
The
said
original question-
originally that would take
So,
12
I'm sorry.
hours. to
Maybe I'm
there,
coming in
there.
a little hard, but I've been watching how you guys are acting to this guy who's actually right, and I don't even like this guy. That's what's funny.
Go
Here.
back through
He
that.
Not
doesn't.
that much. I mean,
That's true.
Originally,
He
I
doesn't.
said-
scoffing and laughing and doing all this weird stuff. I'm not saying I dislike him. I'm just saying
Originally, I said
we
it would
haven't
take 12
been the
hours
best
to
of
go from
friends.
here to here.
He hates me.
Right. If it
Yeah,
moved from
with-
there to there, then yes, 12 hours would have to have transpired for that
Yeah.
to have
And
happened.
also, if you were on your equator,
Which
for
it has
those
not.
12
In this
hours,
video, I can clearly see the star trail only starts from what? That in some positions it looks like maybe 20 degrees tops. Right
and
there.
if you were on the equator for
I don't
those
think you
12
knew
hours,
what you were looking at.
you would have traveled roughly half of the Earth's circumference. Yes,
Why
Wrong.
is that significant to you?
I have no idea why you're trying to say that anyway.
because that's why it's showing movement in the stars.
You don't even know what you're looking at, do you?
What does 12 hours have to do with this picture?
Because I'm trying to compare it to the lateral movement of the elliptical orbit in 12 hours.
Well, then you're making a severe mistake
Why?
how's it making a mistake?
because it's not going to show up.
How
The lateral
is
movement he's
okay.
talking about.
So you
in
can
the
travel
in the
12,000
orbit.
miles. See this? That's 12,000 miles, yeah? 180 degrees.
Dude,
Travel
you
12
don't
miles.
okay,
Yes.
you're geometrically retarded. That's the end of it. Yeah,
You're
that's
just
it.
obnoxious
You're,
old
you're
guy.
incapable of discussing. You're incapable of grasping
keep it
any of
cool,
these
you know?
concepts.
So you can see the you can see the
retarded.
1,000-mile rotation movement, but you can't see the 66,000 movement
Free.
of the Earth.
Free.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Did you
the
listen to what I
globe.
just said?
You moron.
Yeah,
Take
because
the
you're moving
globe.
with the other objects. That
Rotate
other
the
movement that you're
globe.
talking about, that other movement's happening with the other objects. For the
Well,
most
the
We're
part.
stars
moving
move with us, Lee.
Except for the fact that this is how you can tell that you're moving around the sun, is the background of the sun changes seasonally as we move around the sun. You'll see the sun in Taurus, you'll see the sun in Aquarius, you'll see the sun in Pisces, you'll see the
See,
sun in
the
Capricorn,
further
you'll
you
see
are
the
into
sun
a
in Cancer. The
textbook, the more
reason you'll
frustrated
see
you
the
are.
sun in those
you're
positions
never
is
gonna
because the
get
Earth is moving in position relative to the sun, so we can see a different background position behind the
We're
sun.
not talking about the sun.
Just
We're talking
like
about
in
the
the case
star
of
trails
any
right here.
other objects in the universe. Background
doesn't even
objects
know what
stand
you're
still,
talking about.
and right, you rotate around two objects, rotate around each other, or you rotate around one, doesn't matter. You'll see that the background will change, and you'll know that your relative position has changed. Otherwise, you're
doesn't
just like
understand.
the other animals on the planet, and you haven't used tools yet. and you don't know how to figure things out or dream about aspiring
Let me-
to know something
God
else.
damn. Let me
Right.
put it this way. If you put a, you know what a compass is, right? When you draw a circle on a piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
You put the point in the center, and then you draw it and it makes a circle, right?
Wow.
Right. Now, if you draw that circle and you move the whole compass, is it going to be still a complete circle, or is it going to
Wow.
be like little loops?
I told you they're
wow. Was that a
geometrically
phenomenal
retarded.
statement or what?
I mean,
Man,
it's
you just
pretty
blew my
simple.
lid. Wow, you just blew my mind there, man. I take it back. Now I'm a flat earther.
It's Dunning-Kruger.
You realize you
in full
don't really
effect.
just say anything, right?
I pity you.
It's Dunning-Kruger in full effect.
You pity me. That's
Your
okay.
mind is closed like a nun's vag.
Don't pity me.
You have no idea why you believe what you believe about this.
I'm
And
speechless
you're
that you
so
guys can't
wrong.
understand what
It's not funny.
You're speechless because
You
you
guys are
can't
retarded,
come up
man.
with an actual. Hey, how about
Yeah.
this? One
Wow.
word debunks your whole flat Earth. How about this?
Okay.
I know the word.
Equinox.
Done.
What about the equinox?
Drops
What
mic.
about
Done.
it? What about it?
Wah, wah, wah.
Uh-oh. Freeze
What
an
about it?
expert on the
Okay,
equinox.
simply, there's 6 reasons, but I'll give you the easiest one. The first reason
Okay.
would be that anybody on the entire globe can look up and down, east and west down the street, and watch the sun rise to the east right down the street, no matter what your position is on the globe. You could not do that on a flat Earth map with your flat Earth model.
See, what I think is, I think you don't understand directions, and you don't really understand east and west.
Okay, quit thinking, and why don't you
Listen,
show
No,
why?
no, you don't.
You're really making yourself look stupid when you're talking.
While there's a bit of ad hom going on, I'm going to do a bit of a link to my camera. Hope you are all enjoying this live Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. Simply mute your watch page and then click on that link to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. Obviously, you will be met with some challenge if you are a flat earther at the moment, as there are a couple of staunch blowheads currently in the chat. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you haven't already, please share the show on social media.
Go east or west and still be in a straight line.
Wow.
Answer that for me.
Yes.
You don't understand directions.
Yes.
That's
you
the whole
can
problem.
do that.
Cannot.
Yes, you can do that, Bree. Do you know how?
No, you can't. How can you do that?
Do it on the equator.
Is this guy like
Only at the equator. Right.
So,
Okay,
okay,
well-
so maybe
So
you
what
ought
does
to
that
think
tell
about
you?
your questions
I'm
a little
just
bit.
So what
gonna
does
say,
that tell you?
Sometimes I think that when they ask a question, see, sometimes you reveal more about
Hold on.
yourself than you think you do.
No.
with the
So what does that
questions
tell you?
ask.
At the equinox, and what happens at the equinox?
Yeah, but it
What
just,
makes
so
you think? Hold,
on the equinox?
Everybody's
equinox,
looking
everyone
toward the
on the
equator.
planet sees the sun
That's what
coming
that
up
hap- that's
from
what's
the
happening.
east.
you're not looking towards the equator, you moron.
Where are you looking towards then? Where
the
is the sun?
sun.
Where does the sun rise at?
You have parallel lines of sight from up and down the line of longitude at sunrise. You have parallel lines of sight. You're not crossing the equator with your line of sight. A great circle route, as drawn on Google Earth with an initial heading of 90 degrees due east, yes, it's going to cross the equator. But your line of sight to the sun does not follow a great circle route. It
No.
goes in a straight line to the sun, which is why everybody can basically see the sunrise due east on the equinox, because it's a globe.
Yeah.
Don't you dare tell somebody else they don't understand
Right.
directions.
You don't. You obviously don't.
You don't.
You don't.
Come on, dude.
Show me on your
silly.
flat Earth map how
Yeah,
going
You're just gonna
east
start
and
repeating like a
staying
little
east.
kid.
Well, you can do so in a straight line. Validate your point, free-minded.
Ugly as it was, and his
And
crass.
I'm glad you brought up the. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah,
surprised you
yeah.
understand that only at the equator could you go straight east or west, and that would be a good experiment to do if we could
It's
do that,
not-
and that would prove flat or round right there. If you could go
Actually-
straight on the equator, then it would be a
Actually,
globe. If you
the fact
can't,
that you
then
see the fact that you can't see how the sunrise, the sunset, the moon phases all debunk the flat Earth.
What a moron.
It's
Okay,
surprising to me.
no,
Hey,
it
Grim,
doesn't.
Then
Grim,
you got
check
the
this.
equinox, which really debunks the heck out
Grim,
of it.
check this.
How does the equinox debunk flat Earth?
Because on the flat
Oh my
Earth
God.
model, there is no explanation whatsoever for everyone to see the sun coming down the street on the local map, the local sun, everyone to see the sun rise on the east and west running streets on the east, down the road. You look straight down the road and you'll see the sun come straight up between the trees in the middle of the road on an east and west running street, no matter where you are on the globe. That's why. And on a flat Earth, there is no way, unless you have 11 suns and you just can't see each other, right? There's no way to do that.
Hey, pre-minded,
You
I
might wanna
got your
rethink.
test. I got your test, bro.
What's
You
that?
instead of
11
moving on the equator where you cannot verify that you're moving in a straight line, you realize how kind of silly that is. That would be an extremely difficult thing to do. Due to the size of the Earth, the track that you're. Hey, shut up!
What
Now,
Who do you think you're speaking to?
dude, I was talking.
Idiot.
Don't interrupt
I
him
was
while he's
talking.
talking. Of course, he's going to tell you to shut up. You know?
Shouting. I'm not speaking like that to you today.
Zip it.
Now,
So rude.
pre-minded.
You are.
It was very rude of you to start talking after I was trying to explain this to pre-minded. So, shove it. Now, free.
Yeah.
As far as your test, tracking the straightness of the equator. Okay. Now, rather
would be
than
very
trying, what?
I said it would. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Well,
Now, instead of trying to walk around the equator or fly or drive or sail or a combination thereof,
Chill out.
this is what you can do. You can take an observer at the equator who views the sunrise due east, watch the sunrise directly overhead, and then pass and set due west following a straight line arc there in that plane. That is something that if you want to test the curvature of the equator in that direction, like on a flat Earth map versus the globe, see the path of the sun on equinox follows the globe model. It completely pisses all over any flat Earth concept.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does. And if you don't understand that, you are absolutely as retarded as I've ever said you
But
were.
let's be nicer, because how are you ever going to make somebody concede to an idea of
Not
being
this
wrong
guy.
if they
Not
have to?
this guy. No, this
concede
guy
to
is
being
just.
awesome.
That's all they could do. That's all they
I
can do.
I know it
Hey,
doesn't.
dude,
It's not fair.
why don't
I
you attack
converted
my
an
argument,
flat Earth-
Bree?
Curb, you saw it today. You were witness, right? I converted a flat earther yesterday.
Where?
That guy who was arguing and acting all
Oh,
crazy in
Carl?
the beginning.
I
and then
missed
all of a
it.
sudden we did the equinox discussion with him, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, yeah, I guess."
Why don't you both get a room and
I
celebrate?
didn't realize that. Yeah,
We're
I
in
We've
missed
been
Oakley, and we
joined,
are
sorry to
celebrating.
interrupt, we've
I'm
been
sorry,
joined by
you didn't
Sleeping
realize
Free-minded.
Warrior. Can I just say a quick
Free-minded.
hello
Attack my
to...
argument.
Oakley's room
Sorry
right
to
now.
interrupt. Can I just say a quick hello to Sleeping Warrior?
Yo, yo.
Good to have you.
I just
Thank you
got
for being here.
when there's a gap in the conversation, I've just got 3 questions for Curved.
So, free-minded, are you going to
Yeah.
attack my argument? Are you going to tell me what's wrong with
Say it
what I
again.
just told you?
Say it
Are you gonna
again.
tell me- Are you going to tell me what's wrong with my argument, what I just told you?
What'd you say it again?
There's your
so I
test
can hear it
right
again.
there to test the
He's talking about the
straightness
equinox
of the equator.
Yeah,
Now,
You talking about
how
somebody
you gonna
on
come
the
back?
equator, where
Somebody
you are
standing
on the
at the
globe.
equator, the sun will just go straight
Over your
above
head.
his head. Okay.
Yeah, it rises due east, passes straight overhead, sets due west.
No,
on now.
no turning. There's no moving around in a circle. You can
But
tell there's no
the
circular
farther-
movement there.
Yeah, the farther that the observer is from the equator, north or south, the more that the path of the sun is basically going to kind of like curve, like in the sense of rising due east, setting due west, but it will pass north or south of them.
Right.
And the
But on
farther
a
they
flat
are from
Earth,
the
it's
equator, the
always-
lower in the sky the sun will pass at their
Exactly.
solar noon.
Right.
You're done. You're done,
That
son.
actually-
I mean, no,
That's-
you act like you did that. Did you do the experiment? You have the footage of that
this
experiment.
This is simple fact, common knowledge stuff
Yeah,
that
we
you don't
do have all
understand.
that footage. Yeah, that's all very.
You're done. You're
All right.
done.
But can I? How am I done yet? You're just talking.
You're done.
You're talking about an experiment.
You're done.
Let's see it.
It's harder
You're
to,
done.
like I said, it's harder to just be. I don't know. Just be. Let's not play like kids and be like, "Oh, you're burned to the ground."
Not with this guy.
Okay,
That's all
well,
Curve does, man. You
Not with
sound
this
real.
guy.
You sound real childish, bro. I don't know.
Listen to you.
How do you think you
Listen to
coming
you.
across? But you
I mean, it makes us.
you
look
really
bad.
sound ignorant, bro. That's
We're not-
Uh-huh. Coming
we
from
don't
you, that
resort
means
to that
less
sort of
than
stuff.
nothing.
there you
I'll
go
take it as a
again.
compliment from your dumbass.
Yeah.
But
What do you want, Riley?
I heard you talking about the stars before, and I was just wondering
Please,
if
this is the guy. This was the guy who said that the shadow from the moon passes through the sun and puts the face of the moon onto the sun during an eclipse, isn't it?
Well, also the translucent moon
Oh my God,
upholds
I
the
love this
projection
guy.
of light to the sun.
Tell
Come on,
me,
guys.
go ahead,
Translucent moon.
Anthony, give us
Come
hell.
on, Curves. Come on, Grim. He's waited patiently. Just let him get his question in.
it's only 3 questions, and I'll step off. You can laugh and do whatever you want once I've been and gone. But you were talking about the stars before, and the question that you were put to was something about the 180-degree movement of it. That's when I came in, so I didn't hear anything before it. And if I'm asking a question that's already been asked, just stop and I'll move on.
Fair enough.
But Curved, are there any other interpretations that could be possibly interpreted from the movement of the stars that we can observe on Earth from any part of the Earth? Could they be explained in any other way?
Logically or
Can you
irrationally?
be more specific, please? What
Yeah.
are you referring to?
Okay, so we know that the stars rotate around the Polaris in the north and they make concentric circles. Agreed?
Okay.
And then in the south, we don't seem to see a rotation star, pole star, because it's very dim star. We can't see it with the
Riley,
naked eye.
let me stop you right there. The visibility, naked eye visibility of a pole star, which is about 1.5 degrees off of the southern celestial pole, is of absolutely zero relevance. The central point of rotation is still there. Polaris is not even at the northern celestial pole. It's about 3/4 of a degree off.
Yeah, it's
Okay, so
off.
don't play this.
Sure, but what I'm asking is, regardless of how it's argued or interpreted or semantically or whatever, I'm asking is
They
there
rotate
any...
around the southern celestial pole. That's not up for debate.
The other stars do rotate, though. That's the whole point. They're not. It's because the Earth is spinning.
Okay, I understand that I understand the heliocentric model, but what I'm asking is, could it be explained in any other way? Is there any other logical way
Yes.
that they can be explained?
No,
Yes.
no
Wait,
other
wait, hold
logical way.
Hold
no.
on. Let me do this. Let me take it away. It can very easily. It's called the booby dome theory, where on the flat plane you have 2 booby domes. And
That's not
one spins-
logical.
One spins. I know. I said.
He
would
said
you like
logical.
irrational
He
or
said
irrational?
logical way.
Because
Yeah.
Polaris would be the first tassel, or a nipple. I mean, point of origin. I'm
Okay,
just
so-
kidding, because there's nothing real you can do with that.
That's
Anyway.
okay. I mean, Nathan, do you want to just flip me on to present? I'm until he does it, I'll just keep talking so that it stays open. There was a long exposure photograph before, and it was showing the rotation point around one of the poles, and it was clearly evident that they were creating concentric circles. My question to you is, if you claim that it's because the Earth is rotating, aside from the 15 degrees of rotation every hour that we fail to observe with the gyroscope, but on the back of that failure, can this be given
Unless you're on the North Pole,
Riley,
then you see it. Wait, you're
Yeah.
misrepresenting everything. Yeah,
Stick
you're
to-
say
stick to the
random
question.
word salad
Quit
stuff. I
trying
need
to
more
get in cheap
croutons.
shots like that with the gyroscope. We're not going to sit here and argue about the gyroscope. So
Well,
shut
that was
up.
a cheap shot anyway, because you're not even describing like where where on the fucking, excuse me, on the globe are you?
Well, all I'm asking is, how could
longitude for your claim? You're
Just
saying
let him finish his
doesn't.
point.
No, the
Yes.
point is, he just said that you don't see the 15 degrees.
I don't know what his point is, Scream. You've interrupted him.
Yeah, but
So
you
we
do.
don't know what his point
You
is
do,
yet.
actually.
He hasn't got
Just
to the
not on
end
the
yet,
equator
Grim.
where it's 0 degrees, because you don't.
He hasn't got to
Yeah.
the end yet, Grim. We haven't heard his
Right, and
point.
it's gradient.
let me ask the question, and then if you want to
15 at the
respond,
North
Grim,
Pole, gradiently down to 0 by the time you hit the equator. There's the answer to your question.
Anthony,
Man,
maybe just
so
let
don't
Grim
lie.
get to the end of his verbal diarrhea and then try again.
Exactly.
Right. Grim, let me speak, and then when I finish, then you can respond. Okay? Let me get my word out, because you've jumped the gun a little bit. What I'm
No,
asking
actually,
is,
you just made a claim, okay, that you don't see the 15 degrees. And I'm saying, well, you do on the North Pole. The North Pole, you do up there. But it gradiently devaluates to 0 by the time you reach the equator. So you can verify.
no, he doesn't, you
Laughing.
Burke. Of course I'm laughing at you. Do you understand how a gyroscope works? Well, hang on, let me get my question out, and then you can
Yeah,
let me
of
get
course
my
I
question
do.
out
I'm
first.
talking about.
All right.
I'm talking about light
Dude, listen.
interferometer.
You're
talking
not.
I'm talking about
Okay.
a Bagnac, much more high tech deal than what you're talking about, obviously.
Okay, that's fine. But let me get my question out and then respond. What I'm asking is, we can see the concentric circles when we look at the pole stars rotating in the night sky. And my question to you, Grim, is bearing in mind that whether you accept that a gyroscope does or does not, my position is a gyroscope fails to record a 15-degree movement every hour. On the back of that, I can logically and reasonably conclude that the stars are actually similar, or can be at least interpreted to, looking down a tunnel or looking at a flat disk in the sky. So my question to you my first question is, how can you be certain that the Earth's spinning when you don't have a gyroscope to support it, but the stars appear to be spinning above us? How can you be certain? How can you be certain that's what we're seeing?
The gyroscope actually does represent, if used properly, the rotation of the Earth. Okay, because it stays fixed to its position, and then anything moving around it will make it look like its position is changing. Its position is staying fixed.
Okay, so
it's a phenomenon that can be represented and demonstrated and proved over and over again, and has been. It's empirical evidence that you can't just wash away. So
I've heard
when the gyroscope seems to move all on its own, right?
Can we talk
it depends on where it is on the Earth for that ratio to occur. To the 15 degrees is the maximum ratio.
Okay, but
that
real quick.
On the North Pole, where no one's doing those experiments, actually.
Real quick, this is why I'm pissed about the gyroscope being introduced to this. Riley had 3 questions, and one was supposed to be about the stars, but he had to interject this little bit about which a gyroscope built. See, and you introduce all kinds of problems here, Riley. Can we get off of the gyroscope and you make your point about your rotation, please? You had 3 questions for me. I'd like to hear them.
So that was my first question. How can you be sure? So at that point, we haven't really got an answer. So I'll move on.
Pendulum.
Wait. I'll elaborate on that question and I'll ask further. If it's so certain that we're on a spinning ball and the flat earthers don't accept the gyroscope does what it says it does, how can it be proved that we're not doing this? The stars are not doing this. Literally 2 flat planes above us doing exactly the same thing. How can you be certain that we're seeing the effects of a rotating curve?
Because the stars actually don't all move together in the same manner, like they would fixed to a firm dummerment.
So have you got any evidence of this parallax that you claim exists?
Parallax, yeah, of course parallax exists. That's not even the issue. The real issue is the gradient background motions of stars in other galaxies, how they do not all move together as you're thinking. Over the day, they may seem to move together because how fast the Earth spins, it makes everything else out there look like it's not really moving as fast as it's moving.
Now that's a great. That's a great
because you see the transit of Venus go right across the sun. How are you going to even deny that Mercury crosses in front of the sun?
Well, I'll come to Venus. I'll come to Venus and Mercury next. That was my third
How are you going to deny? Right, exactly. That the transit of other planets across the sun even exist?
But the problem is, hang on. The problem is, all right, I'll ask you my third question now. Then while you brought it up,
are they fixed to the firmament or not? I got to clarify.
All right, all right. Obviously,
can you clarify for me, please? Are they fixed to this firmament that you're discussing or not?
What, the stars?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it appears that the stars are part of the firmament. Yes, it is an integral structural part.
It should be easy to debunk you then, right?
Well, your assertion is that your assertion that the stars parallax, and I'm asking you, have you got evidence?
We have the stars and planets in our own galaxy, and we have stars in other other galaxies as well.
Yeah. But do you have any evidence? Because you're talking about
stars and planets. We have planets in our own solar system that we can see moving against the movement of the actual stars in our galaxy. So now we can see
support that,
right? And we see that the star. Yes, of course we do, knucklehead. I mean, you can see Jupiter's moons moving around Jupiter.
Yeah, but you said that the stars were moving. You said the stars were moving independently, and that's not
Jupiter's moons moving around Jupiter, bro. You can see Saturn's moons moving around Saturn. You can see Saturn going around this.
You didn't say planets.
Right, stars and planets. I said clarify.
Okay, but I'm asking about the stars not planets.
Planets. Right, and if our stars and planets are fixed to the firmament, then how are they moving apart from each other?
They're not.
How? Is there several different firmaments, one for each planet?
No, they're not moving, mate. That's my point. The stars are all moving together, in unison.
That's my point.
Yeah. So what I'm asking you to do is prove that the stars move independently. So
Not
whilst
only are
you're
they
going
moving,
getting your
we've landed
evidence,
on them. Some of them.
Grim,
We got spacecraft flying right past the
Grim,
Saturn.
you made the assertion that the stars are moving independently of each other. And I'm saying that that's not true.
No, I didn't.
So
You've now you're making an assertion that I never made. You're re-editorializing my statement. I said stars
So-
and planets are moving independently of each other. The stars,
Yeah.
the solar system, the planets in our solar system moving independently.
and I'm
against
asking you for the
background
evidence of that.
Right.
So go-
even though on the larger scale they all move together, but you can see how they move independently on your smaller scale if you're saying they're
Okay.
on a dome. That's why they
So-
don't fit. That's
So I'm
why-
asking you for the evidence to prove that point. And in the meantime, whilst you go and get it, my third question to Grim is,
the evidence is everywhere. I don't need to. Do I need to? Do I?
well, you do if you're making the
Does
assertion.
anybody
at the
need to
start.
bring evidence that we breathe
Sure.
air? Right. If I say, hey, we breathe air, do I got to bring evidence to that in this debate, or is there? Are you?
So you're going to
because
rely on
I
ignorance.
realize I'm talking to a guy who actually thinks that the shadow from the moon passes through the light of the sun because the moon is behind the sun during that eclipse. Okay. This is the kind of guy I'm talking to right now. So I really don't really feel like, going too much like getting links for you or
Well,
doing
you've made the
anything that's
assertion that
too
the stars
entailed
move
because you don't
independently of
really,
each other.
but you're
And I'm
not
asking you for the
really
proof.
real. I mean, you're really ignorant and it's well known. I mean, even the flat earthers don't like you.
All
That's
right.
what's
So
funny.
if you
And
can't
because
produce
you
the evidence to your
misrepresent
claim,
everything that they try to
then
say,
you're
it's like
talking.
they think you're a shill for their to make them look stupid. So and
So
honestly, I'm not
go and
going to
find
waste
the
my time.
evidence.
I don't
Yeah,
take
okay.
you
So,
serious.
well, in that case,
already
then
defeated
don't
you
respond to
multiple
me. I was
times.
actually talking to Curved. So if you're
I know, but you so silly addressed your question to me at one point, and now you've ended up
because
that's
you're
the end.
hijacking. You're hijacking. I've only
No,
got
you
three
addressed your
questions, and
question
none of
to
them were for
me
you.
actually. So that's what happened.
Well, Grim,
Right,
just
go-
stop.
go and
stop
find
You're
your
silly enough to think that you found a weaker link.
go and
You
find your
forgot.
evidence of
I've
parallax.
already broken your head.
So you say,
multiple
but you haven't
times.
produced anything to prove that point. So until you do, I'm going to
Baloney.
make the third
Yes, I
question.
have. There's nothing I need to prove. It's like you're
Right.
saying here's a unicorn.
I mean,
What am I going to do? Prove a unicorn doesn't exist? That's stupid. You're just making
done?
stuff up. You can't defeat anything I've said.
You haven't given any evidence to support what you've said.
Equinox. Everyone in the
Kat.
world can see it at the same time. I don't even need to go into detail on that.
No,
Well,
given
the-
that these stars are
Just
in
because you
concentric
don't understand
trails-
something doesn't mean I didn't win the argument.
Hang on. Yeah, but be speaking over me all the
That's a
time doesn't
common
mean you win the argument
misconception.
either.
Yeah. It
Right,
doesn't matter
Grim,
like
shut
if I
up.
explained it to you or not. I already answered you. That debunked you. Then you
No,
said random things
answers
like,
don't debunk me.
oh, we know this doesn't happen, and you're claiming that there's no 15%.
Can you stop talking for like 2 minutes?
Yeah,
up,
just
man.
shut up. Man. Right. My third question is, you mentioned
While this little tete-a-tete ensues, I'm going to do one last link. So this show has about 15 minutes left to go. So if you did want to join to express your views on the shape of the Earth, now is the time to do so. Simply click on the link in the info box below this video and make sure that the page you are currently watching, this page that you're watching me on now, is on mute before you click that link. If you wanted to support the show, big shout out to Scooby-Doo for doing exactly that. There is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, so feel free to hit that super chat if you want to support the channel. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you'll be ejected. And number two, if you are, please do not try to rejoin this show. You will be warmly welcomed back on the next show. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Because you said you dealt with that. You didn't deal with that. I'm just calling you out on your lies, dude. You're full of them.
Well, I thought you were looking for evidence to support the stars parallaxing
Why would I be doing that?
because you made an assertion. I'm asking you for
So
evidence.
what?
and
I'm not the one who's ignorant to it. You need to go look for it.
You're the one with the assertion, dude.
Dude, I'm the assertion, sure. I didn't make an assertion. You made the assertion that the earth was flat. I asked you to please show me how the earth is flat. You never could do it. You keep on making up random assertions. I keep calling you on them. And then you try to flip it around and go, oh, look, see, you just made an assertion. It's like, dude, I'm just calling you on an assertion that you made.
You know,
don't
if you
check
were
the
to
facts for yourself.
transpose, if you were to
Right.
transpose the,
Flip flop. You're trying to play flip flop with me, but you're not real
No.
at it.
if you
You
were to
understand.
transpose the orbit of the Earth up 90 degrees, that would transpose an ellipse into the sky. So surely that should show the stars traveling in an ellipse rather than concentric, given the Earth's tilt of 23.3 degrees
Relative to what?
relative to 90 degrees.
Yeah, but what
Music
time of year
man.
is it? Are we
Think
doing
your,
the
think your
equinox?
statements through before you make them.
Well, I am
are you,
thinking
is it
I've
during
got
the
a globe in my
equinox?
hand at the moment.
I really think they don't understand all the implications of the equinox.
Music Man, what is the period of the orbit of the Earth?
The daily rotation, 24 hours.
Okay, so why are you trying to impose an annual elliptical orbit
I'm not. I'm saying I
to
just said
a photograph
if
that's
you were
taken
to,
over the course of the night?
you obviously didn't hear me correctly. If you were to transpose the daily rotation of the Earth up 90 degrees into the sky, you would not see concentric circles given the tilt of the Earth.
No, you said due to the orbit. The
Well, I made a
elliptical
mistake.
orbit,
I'm human.
You did say that orbit.
which is why I said you should really think your statements through before you
Why I
make them.
repeated that's why I repeated the statement. Correct. I'm correcting
Okay.
myself.
All
So
right,
if you were to
now-
transpose,
so what is your point now?
if you were to transpose the daily rotation of the Earth up 90 degrees, it would not be a concentric circle if you were to transpose it up 90 degrees, given the Earth's tilt.
Because
That would
because-
transpose into an ellipse.
why is the rotation elliptical?
Because the Earth is tilted 23.3 degrees. So if you were to
Okay.
transpose that up 90 degrees,
It's
Can
not
you explain
wobbling.
why?
Listen,
You're
it's not wobbling
you're not
once a
making
day.
sense. You're not
The Earth
making
doesn't
sense.
wobble once a day, dude. You
listen,
don't
man,
understand.
hold a globe in your hand, right? It's tilted 23.3 degrees.
No, if the Earth wobbled once a day, then yeah, but it doesn't wobble like
Talking
that
about
once a
wobbling,
day.
if you transpose, right?
It's spinning on its axis, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you were
Wobbles
to
once a
transpose
year.
that up 90 degrees rather than
And-
23.4,
Well,
not even really.
it doesn't
That would
wobble.
project
Right,
an ellipse.
sorry to interrupt before you get into the yes, it does, no, it doesn't. So we've been joined by Haunted House. Pleased to have you here.
Yeah, that would. Hi, Haunted.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Once a day.
Good.
This meeting.
Oh,
Jesus.
Good morning,
Bring
Nathan.
him down, man.
Very, very
Hi,
loud.
Mr. Gurney.
can somebody fix that?
Yeah, I'm going to turn him down.
Sound like
My
shenanigans.
God.
Sorry, I was talking too close to the mic.
Yeah, you were.
It's this thing. It's this phallic thing I have. You know, I see these microphones and I get a little.
Oh, that's your first
Happy.
warning. I'm
So,
just kidding.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you were to transpose the orbit of the
Little
Earth
lecture.
up 90 degrees,
Hi, sweetie.
what are you talking about? Transpose the orbit up 90 degrees. Is that what you just said?
yes, it
You're
would.
really hard to follow, man. It's
It would
it's
produce an
difficult,
ellipse.
it's difficult to understand what you're trying to convey given the words that you're using.
Croutons.
Yeah, it's because it's the first time I tried explaining myself.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, how can we communicate here? What can we do to communicate on this issue? If you have a question about this and you can,
It's not a question.
make your question, your point clear, and maybe we can communicate about it.
Given the Earth is tilted, transpose that rotation up 90 degrees with lines, and it produces an ellipse, not a concentric circle.
And okay, that's an assertion.
No, that's factual.
No, you tell me why.
Because that's the way in which shapes, behave.
That's another assertion.
What was that
There's nothing.
assertion, for Christ's
There's
sake?
nothing. There's nothing clear about what you're saying to indicate why you even think what you're saying is true.
You've just got a one-track mind, you have, and you can't think outside the box.
No. Okay, well, you can throw toys and stamp your feet, but that doesn't make you
No,
correct.
you can't think outside the box. The more educated you claim to be in textbooks, the more indoctrinated you are. Your head is right in there.
Dude, what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because you can't understand that. You can't think on that level.
I'd rather not. I'm proud to say I cannot
Like
think
that,
on your level. That is true. I cannot think on your level.
Definitely
And
not.
I'm very, very grateful for that.
And you think that's an insult?
I know it is. Dude, can you make your point? Clarify, make your point.
No, I think you've trouble
Explain
understanding.
explain it. Why don't you give some evidence for what you're asserting? What you're saying makes no sense. What do you think it is about the direction of the tilt that should cause an elliptical pattern in the stars? Is that what you're saying?
100%.
Okay, well then, I mean, that's just wrong. in order to produce this elliptical thing that you're talking about, due to the direction of the axis is not a factor in that. If the axis remains basically fixed as far as, in its orientation to the center of the rotation, well, the apparent motion of the stars is going to be concentric circles. And you cannot give it one reason why it should be any other way. You're trying to change the tilt of the Earth, and the tilt of the Earth is only tilted with respect to the orbital plane. Do you get that? That's the only tilt that there
I get it
is.
perfectly. It makes perfect sense. Hey, guess what? Anthony Riley, where are you at? He asked another question. What was he doing? He left. He left when he saw this. Oh, what a chicken. Okay, well, anyway, I'm screen sharing. If you want to share, he said his third question was, why does Mercury and Venus fail to ever go behind the sun at any time of their orbits? For one, that's the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, because we have plenty of videos of that happening. For two, he thinks just because you can't see it with your naked eye during the daylight, which you would never be able to expect to see a planet go behind the sun during the daylight for any reason whatsoever, you have to be using special equipment, like, let's say, SOHO. So I'll click and share with what I'm showing here. I think it's a SOHO image. Yeah, I think that is Solar Heliospheric Observatory, SOHO, stationed at the Earth's, Lagrangian point 1 L1, a million miles sunward of Earth. Sent back this animated GIF of Venus approaching the sun in the last few days of Lascau's huge coronal locked center black's the brightest sun in circle orbits the sun disk size. So this is Venus passes behind the sun today. All right, simple stuff. You can watch it for yourself. It literally happens in real life. That's Venus going behind the transit of the sun. Anyway, so Anthony Riley, sorry, dude. Aren't you invalid by now? I mean, I don't even know why people even answer.
Riley's an absolute clown. I mean, listen to this part of his question here. He said,
I was going to say,
Mercury and Venus transits the front of the sun every time, never goes behind.
That's a dumb
That
lie.
is
Here it is.
Exotic statement in and of itself. Even true or not isn't even the problem here. It's just he doesn't even understand the concepts that he's speaking of. Now, the only way that Mercury and Venus can transit the sun is to actually do it in front of the sun. That's what a transit is, when it crosses the sun from our perspective. It cannot transit behind the sun. That's not a transit. And his assertion that it never goes behind is just absolute ignorance. But I mean, he's a fool.
We've been joined by
He can be
Cigar
dismissed.
Face. Can I just say a quick hello to, I think it's David Quintana, hopefully so. We'll see.
ADQ.
hi
And
guys.
that took all of
me,
like
David.
1 second to research too. So these
He's a
guys that are
clown.
making these silly claims, they don't even check themselves before parroting these.
Have any of you got clothes there for home?
You're right, man. There's so many flat earthers parrot other flat earthers, and I can't stand it, to tell you the truth.
70 miles.
It's bad.
Brock, 70
Nobody should
miles.
parrot anybody.
It's like, wait a minute, 70 miles. Let's do the math. Let's check that out. Nope, that's only 15 miles. Why is Eric Dubé saying that the Queen saw this from hill at 70 miles away? That shit stuff wasn't 70 miles away. It was only 15 miles.
So where do you do most of your research?
Data.
I'm just
I
asking.
interpret data, or
You go to library books.
library on the
Like- Oh. hmm I've been finding a lot of stuff from vintage books, like old books from.
Yeah,
late
I've got a lot of
1800s.
old books from the internet. A lot of vintage stuff. Michael Faraday's journals, all kind of fun stuff.
What do you
Good.
guys think the stars are doing? If you think that there's any effect that they're having on us, other than like a timepiece, which I've heard some people say, like a
What are you talking about
celestial
now?
timepiece. The stars. Yeah. What do you guys think they do other than move around?
Well,
Well,
check out the
whatever it
electric
is.
universe theory, because they're plasmoids. They're Z-pinches in the sky. They balance the electric current, basically. They're
What is your
balanced.
question relative to haunted house? What are you getting at?
So they're resistors then. I'm just picking your guys' brain because I don't know what they are.
For what though? Are you asking what they are?
it's for
You're
ammo.
asking
No,
what do they do?
I wanted to
What
know
do the
what you
stars
guys
do?
feel
What do you
like.
mean? What do they do?
That's okay. I don't care what he means. I'll let him. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'll let him do that. You know what I mean? I'm tight.
Thanks for
Build,
letting me do
build as
that.
big a card castle as you can, and then work it. Try.
It's
You know?
possible that they're seeking threesomes. We don't know.
Sharpen my steel if I'm wrong, right? I mean, objectively.
So you guys
it's
know there's
just-
about maybe 2 or 3 minutes left on this stream. So if there's any really important points you want to get in, now's your opportunity.
All right.
Yeah.
Flat Earth is a joke.
Free-minded thinks that if you're looking at a side view of like somebody looking across a lake, that it looks like there's a water ramp that goes for a certain distance and then just kind of drops off straight down. You can show that picture anytime you like, free-minded, and let everybody tell you what they think of it. What else do we have to talk about?
So
you
we
guys think the
satisfied
stars
with
are
this
part of
Anthony
the
Riley
system?
is kind of silly and all of that, and he's just got debunked again.
Sorry, Grim. I think as he's only got maybe a couple of minutes to get his points in, if he's got any, can you just let Haunted House have a few words if that's possible?
I was going to say getting debunked is a good thing. I mean, that's the goal in science, isn't it?
Yes.
Because now you can move to something better.
Yeah,
Simplify,
unfortunately. Yeah, but flat earthers treat it like it's kryptonite.
I just want to
they can't
explain.
deal with it. They can't accept it.
Damn it! There I go talking again. Sorry. I can understand why Curved is irritated because he has. I mean, even if we are talking to somebody new who isn't, full of crap or hasn't been lying to us or trying to manipulate but we've run into all the rest of them who were already. So we don't see this as an organic movement anymore, and we're not treating you like you're just natural organic dummies.
Well, this isn't the first time I've spoken with Free-minded, by the way. I'm very familiar with him and his tactics by now.
Right. So just for the audience out there, in case it does look a little crass and nasty, because even I feel like, God, why am I so irritated? Oh, because I hate disingenuous people who won't be honest or concede when they've been proven wrong. That's why I'm so irritated.
And that's
Free-minded. That makes sense. Yeah. And so when that happens, of course, the other person can play like they're still all held together real well. And so what's the problem? Even though they're the antagonistic ones making you, the honest person who's showing real emotions and not playing a game look like the asshole, right? So that's how that works. So let's be present-minded about it and don't let them work it on us. Curved.
So what else, Haunted? Yep,
I hear you. Guys go to for light when you research light and the theory of what it is, the actual phenomena. What explanations do you find to be the most, hate to say it, resonant with you?
That's off topic.
Well, light's pretty important.
Dub's better.
Hey, I'm curious as to why you're curious about what we think about light.
We've been joined by JJ, and we've got about 30 seconds.
I'm just not gonna.
So
yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna just say that's off topic. Stick to the shape of the Earth. I thought this was a flat Earth debate.
Well, you guys were talking about the stars before. Stars are light.
Yeah, we're talking about where it is, not what it is.
Well, without a reference point, how do you know?
We have the Earth as a reference point. You can check the different viewing angles to the star from various locations and distances.
Outside of the solar system, we are misrepresenting distances by using redshift as a measure of distance.
Okay, but the distance to the stars doesn't come into play here really when we're discussing the angular measure from the Earth.
That's true too.
The angular diameter of the separation of the stars.
And with that, I am going to say a huge, enormous, massive thank you to our audience for watching this debate, and also a massive thank you to all of the live panel for joining and making this debate possible. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.